now we turn our attention to the pre-final for DD2 and DD2 Masters. 10 minutes plus 2 additional laps. Here is your starting grid. Well, pole position nicely secured by Nicolas Guillaume by over 2.5 tenths, meaning the 416 starts from pole position. He'll have countryman and close rival Len Nyes to the outside of the front row in the 446. Wout Kirstens and Laurens Herboz round out row number 2. Kirstens winning the final at Circuit van Berchem last time out. Imke Arts and Axel Hoes will be alongside each other, making it an all-Dutch row number 3. Then it's Mieke van der Pawe and Vincent van Kerkhoffen, who has been given a was found to have had a little infraction, let's say, into practice earlier on this morning. Starts 8th. Louis Koch and Bennett Demler round out row 5, completing the top 10. Kian de Brandt will be on the inside of row number 6 and will be joined by the DD2 Masters pole sitter Dimitri Ostrovsky in the 519, representing Germany. Jesse Spans and Milan Vroom round out row 7, with Luca Neuenhausen being joined by the defending and reigning chrono karting DD2 Masters champion Wim Rouleau on row 8. Christoph Adams, who has previous with not just Wim Rouleau, but probably a lot of people as well. He starts on the inside of row number 9, joined by the 495 of Rick van der Straat. Gwen Bloxhill will be joined by Nick Danchenko on the 10th row of the grid, rounding out the 11th and final row, completing a grid of 22 competitors, the 444 of Derek van Kurt and the 510 of Ton van Weert. So already we've had one race that has started the counter after 2 false starts and a red flag. Let's hope things are a bit more plain sailing for the rest of the day. But as I say, there's always one word that I normally use in karting: unpredictability, and that is exactly what we've had already this morning. Of course, this is the second and final round of the Benefit League, a joint collaboration between Chrono Karting and Limburg Karting. Of course, Limburg Karting, the parent company of Karting Genk. So, 2-speed gearbox action. We go on to 6-speed shifter action for the next 2 races after this for KZ2 Masters and KZ2. And for that, I shall hopefully at that point have Mr. Job Breedveld, a man who's also competed in this championship for many years. So many great talents have made their way into top-tier motorsport thereof. But now we are going to see what will happen over the next 10 minutes plus an additional lap. Red lights on the gantry. Into the tram lines we go. They accelerate, revs rise. Lights are out first time. We're underway. Good start there by Guillaume. Len Nyes being squeezed a little bit, but diving to the inside. That was Wout Kirstens, who sent it from way back when, got through, and has taken the race lead early. Too wide, a little bit further back as they head into turn 6 on the Europlan. Len Nyes down to 3rd place. 4th, that is going to be, I think, Imke Arts in the 421. Right to the inside through at turn 7. As the field, well, there's a couple, oh, and we've had a coming together of all places at the Europlan. 413, well, Gwen Bloxhill and 432 Milan Vroom. So, has Gwen Bloxhill got going again? No, unfortunately she hasn't. That's a real shame for her. As Len Nyes trying to get through on Nicolas Guillaume. Guillaume gets his head down and activating the human DRS, as we like to call it here in karting. And trying to make the air pass over the top of your race helmet as quickly as humanly possible, just by bringing your neck and your shoulders down towards the steering wheel. But at the minute, that is allowing Wout Kirstens to pull away into the distance, a little bit further back. Oh, dearie me. Mieke van der Pawe having a little bit of a conversation with Germany's Louis Koch, as if to say, come on, man, stop mucking about. Or what on earth was that? Are the 2 normal phrases, well, to that extent that you could say without being politically incorrect, as Gwen Bloxhill pulls into pit lane. That's a real shame for her. She's out of the race after that contact. Well, I think it was actually, yeah, Vincent van Kerkhofen's also been caught up in, and he's a little bit, I'm not too sure how far back he is, but No, it's Vincent van Kerkhoven that's actually out. So Milan Vroom is still circulating, but dropped 4 places. Will Kirsten, in the meantime, is scurrying away into the distance a little bit here to the tune of 7.5 tenths. So Guillaume is effectively the cork in the DD2 bottle. Axel Hoos dives up the inside through into turn 7 on Mika van der Pavert. So that'll be a change for 6th position. So 7 minutes and 10 seconds plus an additional 2 laps to go. Nicolas Guillaume has just put in the fastest lap of the race, 55.139, and has brought the gap down to just under half a second between himself and Wout Kirstens. Then Noyes is going in the wheel tracks of Guillaume at the minute in the 4.46 for Sheepers Racing. A bit further back. We've got some good battles happening up and down the order here. So Axel Hoos' next target, if he can close up in on, will be the 4:21 Imke Arts. Very, very fast lady driver. She's been with us for a multitude of years here at Chrono Karting and has also qualified to compete as part of Team Netherlands for the Grand Finals, the Dutch Lions. Len Noyes just waiting for his opportunity to get through on Nicolas Guillaume, but at the moment it is not quite happening. Len Noyes, new fastest lap. 54.885 by the Shepherd's Racing BV driver. So, in some cases, well, some people might remember a driver that's now moved on to ADAC Prototype Cup Germany, this year racing with Aus Motorsport. Maxime Dirix has competed in this championship over a multitude of years. Late starter in karting was Maxime, but he's moved into the LMP3 side of things. Side by side there, Mika van der Pavert getting through robustly on Axel Hoos as Christoph Adams, I think, just made a move on Derek van Kurt through into turn 12. That man will have a steering wheel in his hand when he dies, I'm sure, will Christoph Adams. Other people might say other things as well, and I'm not going to go there on that one. But we're halfway through the race. 5 minutes to go plus 2 additional laps. Len Noyes still the quickest out there. Last lap on lap 5. Right. 3-second penalty. Going the way of Jesse Spans, unsportsmanlike driving on circuit. So Jesse Spans, that'll drop him to around about 18th altogether. Oh, that was very, very wayward, that cart that just went off at turn number 11, or turn 10. That just goes to show how hard these drivers are pushing at the moment. So 4 minutes, 10 seconds, plus an additional 2 laps. And at the moment, well, 2 retirees. We've got 20 drivers still running. Milan Vroom being the last of them at the moment, behind Tom van Weert and Derek van Kurt. Rick van der Start. Right. Oh, now someone's got an official warning slapped against them. That is the 413 of Gwen Bloxhill, who has retired from the race. Obviously, there are a multitude of penalties that can be given out, but also official warnings reference the championship. But Len Noyes has pulled away from Nicolas Guillaume and has closed in on Wout Kirstens. Mika van der Pavert passed on Imke Arts for P5. Jesse Spans through on Wim Rouleau. That is a positional battle up the inside for the lead. Through at turn 6, lap 8. Len Noyes makes it nicely through, very quick, cleanly, I might add. on Wout Kirstens. And last time round, set the fastest lap of the race, 54.407. So fast approaching the last couple of moments of this race. Just under 2.5 minutes to go, plus 2 additional laps. Now Imke Arts trying to close in on Mika van der Pavert for that fifth place that she has held on to pretty much all race long. But things are closing up between the top three. Guillaume has found a secondary wind and is starting to close. Laurens Herboz, I wouldn't count out of, well, I would say it might be difficult to try and catch up in the last moments or so of this race. But Laurens Herboz could possibly, if the top three start squabbling, reel them in, hook, line and sinker rather rapidly. And Laurens Herboz, since making the transition from seniors to DD2, was mighty quick out of the box. Like first race weekend, was quick in qualifying, quick in the races. I think he even picked up a win as well in the process. So there might still be time, but that counter is rapidly dropping by the seconds. We go through each particular corner. Len Noyes has a lead of about 0.4 of a second over Wout Kirstens. Nicolas Guillaume made it 0.7 covering the top three after lap number 9. Lap 10 now completed. And we're going to have 3 to go, including this one. So, lap 11, out of a potential 13, Len Noyes has pulled the pin on the grenade and thrown it behind him, and has opened up a gap of nearly 0.6 of a second in total in front of Wout Kirstens, who is being reeled in now by Nicolas Guillaume in the 4.16, who started on the outside of the front row, who's actually started on pole position. And Kirsten's got the jump on him. Len Noyes also got through as well. So time now expires. 2 more tours to go of the 1.36 kilometre circuit. But Len Noyes has made sure that his intent was verified. And that was to get to the front of the field as quickly as humanly possible and pull a gap. And that's exactly what he's done. Because next time around, we'll have the final lap of this pre-final before we go into KZ2 Masters. So 1 more lap to go. And Len Noyes has a 0.7 of a second advantage. Wout Kirstens P2, P3 Nicolas Guillaume. Leading in Masters at the moment is, I have to say, Dmitry Ostrovsky rounding out the top 10. The German driver in the 5.19 is only about half a second off. He's just put in his personal best on that last lap as well. So good job by Dmitry. But Len Noyes, as soon as he hit the front end of the field, you might remember him when he used to have those good old battles with Thomas Strauver back in the day. Thomas Strauver now running in single-seaters in the Winter Series, the Formula Winter Series by Gedlich Racing, Spanish Formula 4 et al. Another competitive driver, but out of the final corner, winning the pre-final, it is the 4.46 of Belgium's Len Nyes. Wout Kirstens takes B2. Guillaume takes B3. Lawrence Herboz takes 4th ahead of Mika van der Pave. 6th, Imke Arts. Axel Hoos, Kian de Brandt. Jesse Spans narrowly finishes ahead of Dmitry Ostrovsky at the end. Louis Koch, Bennett Demler, Nick Danchenko. Christoph Adams takes 2nd in DD2 Masters ahead of Luca Neuenhausen. Wim Rouleau rounds out the top 3 in Masters, 16th overall. Rick van der Straat, Derek van Kurt, Tom van Weert and Milan Vroom round out the top 20. Those were the 20 drivers that finished, because on the opening lap we lost Vincent van Kerkhoffen and Gwen Bloxhill. Next up, it's going to be KZ2 Masters, the pre-final.